Who is Oprah? Never heard of him. Who's that guy? What is an Oprah? I love this song. I just do. I know it's kind of like really light in y'all's ears right now because I've got the tunes kind of down a little bit, but oh my God, I love this song. All right, let me turn it down. All right, well, we'll turn it down so it's all focused on me. I know y'all are here for me, but I can't help it. I can't help it. I like the music. Welcome in, everybody. It's Wednesday. I've actually been preparing a video for the next 2 days and completely forgot it was Wednesday. I set the timer for this, like to start the stream. I set the timer like about 10 minutes before I was supposed to go live because I forgot about it. I was working on 2 videos. I got a video coming out about Roe this week. Oh my God, Rev Talks Roe. Yes. And then I got a video about 30-day loyalty chest coming out. And that's assuming nothing else gets in the way. So been a busy morning so far today, assuming nothing gets in the way. So welcome in, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully y'all are having a great hump day. Hopefully you're celebrating hump day the only way that you should be, which is devoting yourself to Star Trek Fleet Command. There's absolutely nothing else that you could do on hump day that's appropriate besides that. And today will also be the final day you can get your responses in if you have not yet voted in or you've not participated yet in our grading. If you have not done the April grading yet, still need more people to come in and respond. In particular, I'm calling you out, EU players. Once again, the EU players have dropped below 30%. So you EU folks out there, where the hell are you? Where are our EU people? Where are our EU people? I'm calling you out right now. I love y'all. And I think you're all wonderful individuals, depending on what country you're from. But if you're in the UK or the EU, you're on an EU server, we need you because your opinion matters. And I don't want it to just be, Rev Deuce talks from a US server. I want all y'all's opinions to be valid. So if you haven't already, link is in the chat. Go jump into the survey, fill it out, and let us know what you think about this past month, good or bad. And honestly, there have been more positive answers than maybe I would have expected and than what I personally put down in my grading. And that's completely okay because it prevents Rev from being blinded by his own things. Like, if I dislike something, well, suck it up, Rev. Not everybody might have disliked it. And that helps me and helps Scopely. So, Barnabas says, why has the event store been extended by an extra week? Does that mean more event store currency coming? No, Barnabas, not that I'm aware of. I'll just keep it a buck. This is what the kids say. If I'm going to keep it 100 with you, I think they extended the event store just to see if there's any last minute sales. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure no. I'm very confidently saying there's no more currency being dished out. No more currency being dished out. And it's a little wild. And chat, y'all be honest with me. I think this week so far, in terms of what we got in our update, and what's in the Flash Pass is better than the entire month before it. And this might be the most obvious example of recency bias. But this week is fantastic. We've gotten fixed to, Eclipse that we've been asking for a long time. Tau has been announced as you've got a free-to-play path to Tau now. Free path to Tau. Now, granted, you will need to work hard for 4 months. But at the same time, you've got a free-to-play path to Tau that's been announced. That's big for a lot of people. Hell, it's big for me. So I am excited about this week and what it starts off. And we're going to talk about those different things. For those who have no idea what I'm talking about with Tau, I'll show you that. But these are all updates that benefit everybody. Spenders, free-to-play, and that's the type of content that I get really excited about. So Triax is the first one to ask the questions. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Tau. how is there a free-to-play path? So if you go to your Flash Pass, you will not see Tau just in your face. There's Pime, Galinar, and Bork to Pring. I actually like all these. I like all these, but if you look at the final milestone, you look at milestone 6. Milestone 6, you got 10 Tau shards. For the next 4 months, every Flash Pass in the next 4 months will have 10 Tau shards as the 6th milestone. Hank, thank you so much, Hank, for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. So what does this mean? If in the next 4 months you are doing your Flash Pass, you are completing your Flash Pass, you will unlock Tau, which is a game changer, is an absolute game changer for your Actian grind, if nothing else. But it's giving a free path to an officer. Now, is it permanent sourcing? We'll work on that. But the fact is, for the next 4 months, you're going to get Tau. If you don't have him now, you're going to get him. If you're like me and you were somewhere close, you're going to get him sooner rather than later. So the good news is we just had good after good this week. And how is Tau a game changer? John, you can go out with a 4-star ship and hit like a 49 Apex, fill up a cargo of 163,000 in 3 hits, and you're done. Tau gives you a lot of punch-up ability for certain hostiles. So, yeah, I mean, great value. Eddie says, got to give a C for the event store since I got Mantis unlocked. I think the C for the event store is fine. By the way, I'm going to keep spamming it. If anybody wants to share it, we do still need everybody to participate in this. Everybody participate. Link will get posted throughout chat all the time. All the time. We need more people. Your opinions need to be heard. So, yeah, everybody's getting Tau. I'm excited. Like, that's such a good thing to me. That's such a good adjustment to the game. I think everybody should be pretty excited about it. And I'm curious if everybody in chat is. If you don't care, just say, hey, I don't care. But, you know, you had Tau come out for a couple months for purchase first, which honestly, that's pretty normal, right? That's not a shocker. And then we now have the next level of this where we are getting the goodies. Hank says, I'm 9 shards away from Hugh. You're very close, Hank. Good news is Borg Solo's 40 plus will finish it off for you. Bad news is, Hank, I think you're like 37, so you've got a little bit to wait. So, Jerry says, what's the other 2 of the Tau crew? So there's several people you can run as captain. 5 of 11, Beverly. You could run Pike, but Giorgio and Tau are the 2 you need. And you can kind of fit in a lot of other people at captain depending on, you know, your account, etc. But you need Giorgio, Tau. You could technically use Nero as well if you needed to, but Giorgio's better. Giorgio, Tau, and then either Pike, Bev, 5, several different people as captain. A Strange New World applicable officer. So, for example, if you're in an interceptor, you would then use Strange New World Uhura. There are many options for captain, but you got to have Giorgio and Tau. So, Ordrin says, I don't care, but I'm excited that you're excited. Your excitement is catchy. Ordrin, I just want to say a big shout out to Ordrin real quick. For those that don't know, Ordrin, as y'all can see by his green name, supports the channel. But Ordrin sent money yesterday for my daughter's birthday. And we are doing a weekend birthday thing where we're going to send y'all pictures stuff. But anyway, all this to say that appreciate you. And the reason I'm giving you extra love here, Ordrin, is because you actually ended up buying big birthday present I got her. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Wish I'd known before spending on Tau. Any chance for a comp? 0 chance, OC. Because at the end of the day, 1, we told y'all a free sourcing of Tau would come. We told y'all that from the beginning. And 2, you still have had Tau before everybody else. So you paid to have early access, essentially. So no, I mean, there's no reason for you to get comped. Right? There's no reason to get comped. Thanks to your advice, I was able to get Giorgio and 3 of 11 for the transport patterns. Awesome, Eric. We love transporter patterns. You know, it's something I push really early to players to work on getting transporter patterns. It'll make your game so much better. So much better. And hey, Lucid Nightmare, even from the EU server, complete the survey. Lucid, I appreciate it. I need more of your EU brethren, though. Please go beg your EU brethren to hop in. So just for reference, the reason I'm so harping on the EU is I do want y'all to be equally represented. And so far, y'all only make up 29.6% of the survey. Less than 30%. So, you need more. Is Tau available with the Elite Battle Pass or will it be completely free? Completely free, Mike. Completely free. He is in the top milestone of the free Flash Pass for the next 4 months. You're going to get 10. at the end of the free flash pass for the next. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy the flash pass. I personally think this flash pass is really good value. Like, the bottom rung of this flash pass to me is very, very good value. These are 3 very important officers in the game. So I like it, but Tal himself is free to obtain if you do the work for the next 4 months. Each flash pass over the next 4 months will have 10 Tal shards in it. And anybody that loves their, Scopely math, pretty easy to put 2 and 2 together there. So, what about after these 4 months? Vic, I'll be honest, we'll worry about that after the 4 months. Yes, we're not going to say that permanent sourcing is not always wanted. But at the same time, we're going to take this as a big victory because you're technically getting 4 officers in a flash pass that normally would only be 3. And you're getting an officer that we've been waiting on for a while. So we're excited about it. We're excited about it. Is Pond good for solo armadas? No. No. Where's another heavy? Sorry, I'm trying to do multiple things at once like I always am. Triax says, so I got enough event store currency to take Hugh to tier 2 or take Picard Beverly up to tier 3 or get the Stella Assimilated skin plus the Vidar and Katinga. What's the advice? I would take Hugh to tier 2. Personally, this is what I did. So I'm not just going nutso and trying to tell you what to do. That's what I did. I took Hugh to tier 2. The quicker I can guarantee that 25% bonus popping, the better I'm going to do. So that's what I did. I took Hugh to tier 2. John says the elite pack has half of Picard in it. So let's pull that up real quick. Somebody asked me about that yesterday. This one has got half Picard. For those who are unaware, when Picard launched, 1, he's never had good sourcing. But 2, this is a car that they used to charge like $800 for. Like wild. So, I mean, in terms of historical value, this flash pass is worth a hell of a lot more than $100. Scopely's value. I'm not telling you that you have to buy it. I'm telling you that by Scopely's value of what they put officers at, including epic officers, that is basically a sales price for Picard. Now, if you don't need Picard, don't worry about it. But in terms of value, it is valuable. Whether it should be purchased is completely up to you guys. I don't like to tell y'all how to spend your money. It's your money. You worked hard for it. You earned it. I don't care if you make $1,000 a week or you make $10,000 a week. You earned your money. You make $500 a week. I don't care. You earned your money. So you get to decide how to spend it. But in terms of value and officer value, the Elite Flash Pass is good. Would I buy it? No, but I usually only budget for maybe one $100 pack in a month. Maybe one. And this isn't the one I budget for. So I wouldn't go after it. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. And you decide for yourself if it's something that you want to go after. Right. I do have to give a quick shout out to Hank. Hank, thank you for supporting the channel. I just got the PayPal notification. Thank you as we try to finish up and get our bills done for the month. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Will it be 40 shards of Tal total? Yes, 40. 40 KBA. So you're going to have Tal over the next 4, including this current Flash Pass. 40 total Tal shards are going to be given away for free to players who complete the Flash Pass. Players who complete the Flash Pass. Think they'll have time to do a Voyager arc or Archer arc? Yes, Eddie. Excuse me. Yes, I mean, they did DS9 last year, and you already had Picard out. You already had Strange New Worlds. You already had Lower Decks. There's no new Trek show that's come out this year, and they still did that last year. So, should you tier Tal up? I mean, if you have the option to tier him up, sure. I don't really think there's an argument to not tier up an officer, is there? Unless we're talking about some random common that you don't want to waste, precious materials on. Also, Nightbot, thank you for dropping the merch link. Have you heard of servers not scoring on any events for the past 12 or 18 hours? I'm on 38, no scoring today, perhaps even last night. Other servers effective. Clint, you're the first one to bring it up to me. So I haven't had anybody message me earlier today about it. That's a first. We played Microsoft Flight Sim. I have, Dustin. I have. In fact, if I could afford it and I could afford to take off the time, I would love to have an actual flight sim rig and do legitimate flight sim. But that's a dream because 1, I'm not rich enough for that. I'm not rich at all. And 2, I don't have time for that. But that's a gaming dream. Some people their gaming dream is, covered in Pokemon or Star Trek Fleet Command. For me, flight sims are like one of those things I've always loved as a kid. Beck just posted something about scoring issues. Well, then we'll go read what Beck said real quick. The team is aware and investigating daily goals event issues for servers 38 and 131. So there's apparently two servers. So yeah, there you go. They are investigating issues for 38 and 131. John, dude, thank you for supporting the channel. Signing up to be an ensign. I appreciate that. Thank you for helping me and my family out. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you. It's actually extremely kind of you. Is it worth trying to push Hugh to tier 3 even though I'm 150 shards away? To me, he is. To me, Hugh is, and I've said this. If you ask me any Hugh-related question, just FYI, future reference, I'm probably always going to tell you to invest in him because right now, Hugh is the best hostile officer in Star Trek Fleet Command. Like, singular officer, he is by far the best now. So I'm going to try to get you to max him out because then you get the stats of him plus the below deck ability. Yes, I'm going to push you to that answer. Now, if you have something else that is also important, don't forego everything just to upgrade Hugh. But generally speaking, yes, I'm going to tell you that you should try to take Hugh to tier 3. And then I'm going to tell you to take him to tier 4 and then take him to tier 5 because of how good he is. And if you can guarantee those criticals all the time, because like we talk about grinding, like I'm using him right now against heavies. He's not as optimal against heavies because heavies don't have a really lucrative firing pattern. They hit you once, they punch really hard. But even then, he's useful here. And if I got him tiered up, then I wouldn't have to worry about him maybe not proccing as the potential is now. Just generally speaking, though, I am going to always encourage everybody to upgrade that. John, and I appreciate you. I really do. One thing I will say, if y'all do want to support, especially monthly, for those that don't know, and I'm speaking to those who want to support, if you hear the sound of my voice, you do not have to send me money. It's appreciated, and I make a living because people help, but you don't have to. But if you do support monthly, if you check out our merch store, there's actually a memberships page on there, and they take a hell of a lot less money than YouTube does. YouTube takes 30% of memberships, super chats, and anything's appreciated. But just FYI, if y'all do want to look into that, if you go to revdeuce.com, you want to do a monthly subscription, that is a lot less that gets taken out. Just FYI for those. I appreciate everybody. And if y'all want to do continued support on YouTube, I'm not going to have any complaint. But just so that y'all know where your money's going, I found that people like to know how their money is actually getting, worked with. So just thank you to everybody who supports. And yeah, Romulo, we just announced S38 and S131 are having score issues. Shout out to Beck for getting that announcement out because nobody had actually messaged me about that. And if they had, I haven't seen that message yet through my DMs. I was going through them earlier. So either I missed it or I didn't know. Dude, Sean, awesome. Did you post a picture in our Discord? Would love to see it. What's the timeline after your survey closed for Scopa to receive the results? When it closes, what we'll do is it's me, Archduke, and a couple other people that he works with as well. We will actually sit and actually dissect the base information. Now, as soon as we actually wrap up the survey, as soon as we actually wrap up put it on the screen so y'all know what we're talking about. As soon as we wrap this up, I actually go to Eco and say, okay, here's the generalized idea. Like, here's the pie charts. But beyond that, when we actually break down like the word maps and what got talked about the most, what got talked about the least, all these things, that takes about a week to go through all the data. Because you remember, if we get 1,500, 2,000 people for a pretty complex form, when we've done some of these surveys in the past, they weren't near as complicated or near as in-depth as these are. So it takes a lot of time to go through and parse all that data. And a big shout out to those who help with that, especially these behind the scenes guys like Archduke who helped come up with the rubric. But I'll take the base information to them immediately, and then we'll take the detailed information like, the hot word maps, like, okay, maybe level 50s particularly pointed out this issue, and maybe level 20s particularly hated this feature. And then we'll go in with specifics after that. So it's a progress, right? You kind of break it down into layers, and if you do it well enough, what you get an opportunity to do, and this is what surveys have allowed me to do thanks to y'all's support, I've actually gotten to go into meetings, build a spreadsheet, build an actual presentation, and then I give a presentation to whoever's in charge of whatever it is we're talking about. So if we're in charge of, we're talking about incursions. Yes, incursions are still coming back. No, they're not gone forever. I've had multiple meetings sitting down, actually breaking down incursions with the people in charge of incursions. And my hope is that when they bring them back here in this next run, I've had some discussions with them on what that's going to look like, that it'll finally start being better. And I know there's going to be those who never like incursions no matter what gets done to it. But if it can at least be better overall, that's a win. And y'all's surveys have made that possible for me to take y'all's information. It's not even my info. To take y'all's information, present it to them in an informative way that actually has numbers backing it up instead of just, oh, Rev heard from players, so he's going to say this. The way the event stores have been for me, I'd rather they just skip them. And see, I would never recommend that. Wait, do you mean event stores for incursions or regular event stores? Because even this month, this event store wasn't bad. Unless you're talking about an incursions event store, which has been pretty awful. Makes sense. Survey data definitely helps inform decision making. I did complete it. I appreciate it, MoFlow. I really do. I appreciate everybody who supports the process, because I know there are definitely those who don't believe it does anything, and everybody's entitled to believe that. But things that we see in game can provide literal proof that they listen. And a good example is tomorrow, you're going to do Eclipse hostile grinding, and you're going to do the Apex Thursdays. You've got 3 new systems. Those 3 new systems exist because of your feedback. The reason they listen to that is because your feedback. Now, have they heard that before? Sure. But they had also not updated Apex in a year. And when they did, we all made sure to provide them player-sourced data to make sure that these got done. Now, I wanted them here. And what they did is they took Penumbra, they took Lidstrom, and they basically combined them and made 3 new systems. The reason I say that is it's not exactly Penumbra, because Penumbra will only spawn the 45 epics, but it's also not perfectly Lindstrom, because Lindstrom only spawns the 40s. These will spawn both sets of epics, but it's still a significant improvement, and that's all based on feedback. That they could have just said, screw it, we gave you a weekly event, you can take it or leave it. But they're not doing that. So we appreciate them not doing that. Definitely screwed up expectations for the event store, but I can only complain so much about Mantis, Hue, Meridian Refit, etc. It's still a good month. Yeah. My biggest complaint about the event store is it wasn't as good as the literal best event store we've ever had, which was the last event store. The last event store truly was the best one we'd ever seen in the game. And this one just doesn't happen to be that good, but it's still damn good, right? Because here's how I know it's good. Because even the people who complain about it are still going to go turn in all of their currency. Ain't nobody going to sit on 600,000 currency and be like, this is trash, it's not even worth doing. Everybody's going to go turn in their currency. So even if it isn't as great as the last one, it's still very good. Still very good. 4-star ships were available? Yeah. Or why the miners weren't in there? To be honest, I don't know how many people have requested that. There was a heavy push for a long time to get the 4-star warships in there. I don't know how much of a push has been made for the miners, but we can always bring that up the next time it runs around. So, happy Wednesday to you as well, Ian. Are we due for a roadmap update? Roadmap updates typically come out about every 6 months, so not yet. Hey, Miss Lisa, how are you doing? I unlocked Picard, Beverly, and Hugh for me, so I'm not complaining. There you go. Brian says, I may have missed it, but what are your recommendations to buy in the event store? Brian, I put out a whole video about it. I encourage you to check out. Number 1 thing is going to be Hugh, but it does depend on where you're at in terms of your individual account. My number 1 thing is going to be Hugh, though. That's going to be the biggest thing that I push you towards. Yeah, Rite of Ascension artifacts missing from the roadmap. Exactly, Clint. And historically, they do not release a roadmap until they finished everything on the previous roadmap. So I would not be anticipating another roadmap until those actually make it into the game. How many would use all their currency this month if you could use it in the next one? I mean, we've talked about that before, but that's not a thing. Until it's a thing, it's just one of those hypotheticals, right? But to be honest, I would still, me personally, unless an event store just had nothing in it, and this one had plenty of things, just wasn't, 50 great things. It was 5, 2 great and 6 really good, and then the rest of it was kind of meh. I still would have spent my event store currency this month. Even if I knew I could save it for the next time, I still would have spent it. I'm not going to slow my account down for a maybe. But that's me. I was wondering what your thoughts are on adjusting the Alliance Starbase to include an Alliance resource paint that can be stockpiled for excess resources donated from Alliance members. Chris, I don't know if you know this, but I actually put out a video probably close to 3 years ago about the idea of using the Alliance inventory system for just that. And even had a dev tell me that it was a good enough idea that potentially could be put on the roadmap. 3 years later, it's not happened. And I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to happen. I think there are people who fear that that would cost them money. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But that's my belief, that it isn't going to happen. I was really bummed that last arc didn't have a recruit event, earn officer shards to score. Recruit events are hard to get, honestly. Like that's a tough one to get. We've tried those before. It's tough to get that. Can a player request a pack they specifically want that has been previously offered? Short answer, no. Short answer is no. Long answer, if you're like one of those super epic whales with a personal VIP manager and stuff, sometimes, but generally, no. Like you can't just go to customer support and say, hey, I want this pack. Which I know sounds stupid because like, why would they pass up an opportunity for money? I'm just telling you what has happened in the past. Do them a job. Promise. Not coming for you. I've got event store currency from over 2 years ago to begin with. Same. I don't know if I'd call it a badge of honor, but same. I'd love for the rep packs to come back. I would as well. I love the rep packs. I'm a fan of them. Not everybody is, though. Keep that in mind. Like, just because Rev likes something or you like something doesn't mean everybody does. There are people who hate the rep packs. They think it's cheating. I don't. But there are definitely those who don't like it. Whoa! Good pull! Yo! That's a really good pull. Rep packs are pointless? Yeah. Oh, what? No. Give me a rep pack. Rob Fisher does not like rep packs, and Rob, you're more than entitled. I love rep packs. That's one of the few things I do happily swipe $100 on. Yeah, and for those that don't know, for Cerritos, this is a damn good pull. This is a damn good pull. Really good number of parts. And I'm getting 11 epics and 1 rare. That's a damn good pull. You usually don't get pulls that good. That's that streamer juju. Oh, man. Running morning streams always throws me off because I'll have done stuff in the later portions of the day. Are you planning on doing a Star Trek Picard video? I want your opinion on it. I love season 3 so much. So my plan was to do kind of like a review of Picard season 3 at the beginning of May. You know, if I had an assistant, I would actually do like one of my dreams would be to do episode recaps. Like episode ends, I do a format, bam, we talk about it. But I don't have any help for that, so that's just kind of like a dream. But I do plan on doing like a season 3 recap and giving like my thoughts in May. And that way it gives plenty of people time to have watched it, and the way I'm not hearing spoilers. Yeah. Still waiting on to make the Booty Hunter Express card. Don't row without it. Jack, sadly, I don't think that there are cards on my merch store. Like, I don't think there's a card that I can make. But I can look again real quick. Let me see if there's even... I know I can make maybe stickers or something. Is there a card? There's not. There's not. I mean, I can look for something like that, but we'll figure it out. QXSLB, get the credit cards ready. Yikes. I would say if there is a Hue XSLB, just remember there is free-to-play sourcing for Hue already in the game for levels 40 and above. So it does exist in the game for levels 40 and above. You have a Booty Hunter challenge coin? I don't even know what that is, Subvet. What do you mean a challenge coin? Like they use in football? Event schedule? Did it finally roll out? Did the event schedule finally roll? Have they put it out yet? Oh, is this what the news is? Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Here's the schedule. So we're doing Cal right now. We're doing Cal right now. Well, this is just this week's schedule. I wonder what next week's schedule is. Got Cal right now. Faction Hunt starts tomorrow. We got a Talios event. Yeah, I forgot that's already right. And then we got the XSLB for Hugh and Picard. Rev will not be participating in that. And then FC Champions SLB, which is a special avatar. Okay. Meh. But, hey, if you don't have Hugh, and you are a lower level player and you see that, yes, before you ask, Rev will recommend you go after it. Rev will recommend you go after it. Why are these not dropping enough boxes? I need more boxes. Well, let's be real, Tiberius. Would you rather have Hugh or Worf? Go to the bar, pull out your coin. Everyone pulls out their coin. The one who doesn't have theirs has to pay for a round of drinks. I've never heard of that, Sean, but I don't really go to bars. I'm lame. I'm very lame. They should create an exchange store mechanic to convert leftover currency from past event stores into the current. Agreed, Abraham. Something that we have asked for and pushed for. 100% in agreement with that. 100%. I have Worf, but some Hugh will be nice. I mean, any Hugh is great. Hugh truly is transformational to your gameplay. And I've yet to have a player who listened to my advice, went and got Hugh, and didn't come back and say, you were right, Rev. This is fantastic. Everybody has said how great Hugh is when they pick him up. It's a phantom ship. Apparently it has a cloak. Ooh, one right there. Any better Armada directive sourcing overall? I mean, Don, they've improved Armada directive sourcing several times. I think the only sourcing for Armadas that's still really hard is normal epics. Those are still pretty tough to come by. Normal epics. Solos are really easy. Eclipse, obviously, super easy. And even uncommons and rares now have become much easier since they've added a couple different sourcing paths. And you look at Crucible of War, which is going to be getting an update here in the near future. You can double up on this one every month, which I am going to try to do, which is tomorrow. I'll try to pull this again. I'll pull it twice. But I mean, they've improved sourcing, and granted, it depends on what level you're at, because its sourcing doesn't feel much better when it comes to, like, if you're level 28. But you look at like Cosmic Cleanup, the Saturday that now pays out rare directive stuff. And it also depends on what alliance you're in. Are you in an alliance where everybody kind of shares armadas equally, or are you in an alliance that you're the main armada person? So you always feel kind of strained to be providing the directives needed. So there's a balance to probably be found there. Epics are the only ones I think are still ridiculously hard to source, like regular epics, and the others have improved while not being fantastic. But yeah, you can definitely end up with several. I would say if you, as a free-to-play, we could go back and check the math on this. If I say as a free-to-play, if you're in an active alliance, you can probably pretty easily get 4 to 5 rares a month as an easy number. But we'd have to math it out. Epic Directive is easy to source unless you waste your rares on G4 chest. Well, some of us have no choice. I have to spend on the rares because I need the ACC cores. And that's a tricky thing you get into is I have to have the rare Armada chest. I hate doing it. Like, I'm not happy about it, but I've got to pull my rare and my epic chest because I need the ACC cores. It's the only place to get them without spending money. And my next pull will take me to 42. Well, Paul, I'll get, just from Crucible of War, though, RNG comes in play here. But remember, Crucible of War, you got this pull, the Gold Trophy Utility Pack. You got this pull, which you can do twice, depending on how you've saved up your stuff. You can do this. You've also got the Alliance Store Cal pull, which this is guaranteed, so obviously that's much preferred. That's guaranteed. You've got cosmic cleanup 4 times a week. You've got what you would normally get from doing your Armada chest pulls. If you're doing your Armada chest pulls every time they're available to you, I get G4 Uncommon one I don't count because it's trash. But on average, I probably get 10 every time I pull this on average. 10 rares. I mean, yeah, I mean, 4 is about right. We still pull the rare chest after you hit AC 45? Probably not, no. 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 Any recommendations for negative 2 million cling, negative 2 million ROM and cling? Can't seem to get it positive. Missions are a good way to offset it, but the truth is, it really just comes down to hitting ridiculous amounts of hostiles to dig yourself out the hole, or using missions to get yourself out the hole quick and then take advantage of the positives. But yeah, I mean, it honestly just takes you to grind a little bit. Just takes a little bit of grinding. Takes a little bit of grinding. Finally got a jelly. Should I mess with upgrading? If so, how far? Which jelly, Tommy? ISS or regular? Yeah, exocomps, as Mofo brings up, can definitely help. The drawback to the exocomps is they're tied to the amalgam. The positive of the exocomps is that if you do the amalgam right, you really don't need to do the amalgam like once every month or two. And you get enough to cycle through. So missions are drying up. I feel you, man. It happens, man. I get it. It's not an easy answer, but it is the answer. It's something that we kind of all have to share. We all have to grind for the rep. It's a pain, but it's okay. I mean, it can be a pain though. I can for sure see that. The ISS, Tommy, personally in today's game, I wouldn't take the ISS past tier 2. I wouldn't take my ISS past tier 2. It's not in today's game. No longer needed. You only need it to get the event. And that's it. Maybe tier 3 if you just want the extra warp range. When's the event store closing down? I mean, it's got a timer on it, Tony. They extended it to, what, 7 days? Is there a way to earn Hue shards after the Picard coins? You're 23 short. Living Freedom. Hue can be obtained for free through the Borg Solo Armada grind. Now this is level 40 plus, but your Borg Solo Armada grind, Hue is in the Epic Solo Exchange chest. Now I'm not telling you that this is amazing sourcing. I'm just telling you it exists. This is the free-to-play sourcing for Hue right here. Yeah, Maz, I mean, a tier 1 jelly can complete ISS Jelly Brawl with PMC, no problem. But I would, again, the highest I would take it would be, as long as it's not costing me uncommons and ship parts. So, ISS Jelly is great for the daily events if your main ships can't. Hellcats, I honestly can't see a situation where my main ships couldn't do what an ISS Jelly can. I honestly can't. The G3 epics are superior in PvP, they're superior in armadas, and they're superior in PvE grinding at a much lower cost. So, I mean, the ISS the ISS Jelly wasn't good when it came out, and it's less good now. It wasn't great when it came out, and it's less good now. The only thing that made the ISS Jelly seem good is when the high levels got to it first, especially on servers that were locked, that they were level locked. You could tier the ISS Jelly to like tier 9, tier 10, and it would win with just overwhelming firepower. But it wasn't good. It was just a G4 ship when no G4 ships existed. But hell, now that we have battleship strike teams and stuff, you could have a maxed Jelly going against a maxed Augur and still get his butt whooped. And who in their right crazy mind maxes an ISS Jelly? There's no value in maxing an ISS Jelly. So yeah, I don't think it really serves anybody a purpose besides the fact that it looks cool. Yeah, I'll say that. I mean, the ISS Jelly, the natural ISS Jelly skin looks super dope. And then it has one of the best skins in the game. But honestly, the ISS Jelly comes out to do ISS Jelly Brawl, and that's it. That's all I do. ISS Jelly Brawl. That's it. 3 years ago it was king. And even then, though, Wicked, even 3 years ago, it was only king because it was the only 4-star. So you could simply tier it out of strike ability. Word it that way, right? But it was never good. Like mathematically, it was never a great ship. It just had more tiers. Like a tier 9 ISS Jelly versus a tier 9 Augur. Give me the Augur. My Amra still taking the ISS to tier 5 or 6 and skipping the Valdor? No way, Brett. No way. Oh, dude. No offense to your Admiral. I don't know them. Awful advice. Absolutely terrible advice. No. No. Valdor all day long. For one, the Valdor is actually the easiest one to do. Because you've got multiple events. The ISS Jelly Brawl event pays into the Valdor. And then you've got Parabellum. So you're already getting multiple events that help them out. But just compare them side by side. It costs 106,000 uncommon Explorer parts to take an ISS Jelly to tier 5. It costs 143,000 Explorer parts. Not that much, especially when you consider efficiencies in terms of a difference. It's 26,000 uncommon ore versus 26,000 uncommon ore. So they're both the same in ore cost. And it's only raw 10,000 more gas for a significantly better ship. And when I tell you it's significantly better, well, hey, if only there was a guy who had a tier 5 Jelly and a tier 5 Valdor. Significantly better the ship. Not even close. And the cost is not that high. Yes, it does cost a little bit more in terms of Explorer parts. That's why you're scrapping Mayflowers. It does cost a little bit more in gas. Exact same cost in ore. But you've also got Parabellum and Jelly Brawl every month that feed directly into this. You're scrapping Mayflowers. This thing will last you to the 46s, and then you'll still use it with the 46s for solo armadas. Nobody's touching this. By the way, this is a tier 5.5 ISS. It's not even a tier 5. It's tier 5.5. Valdor all day long. Valdor all day long. All day long. Far superior boat. Also, one of the few things to come out of the Nemesis movie. That was good. One of the few things to come out the Nemesis movie that was good. Explorer ship type at 4-star is the only supported by 2 events if you have the Jelly. It's true. It's true. But there's a natural, like, I don't want to call it cheapness to Explorers, but if you're going into the early 40s, Explorers are the easiest ones to pay for because you have events that are doing it for you. Yeah, not to mention what Wicked is saying is that the biggest reason that the faction ships are so superior is the ISS Jelly is an early specialty ship. It doesn't get any bonuses. It's not a Federation ship. It doesn't get Fed bonuses. It doesn't get Klingon bonuses, Ron bonuses. But all your faction ships do. Like, you talk to a lot of elite, high-level players, and everybody's like, well, whales don't have to do anything. Whales still have to grind. And what they'll tell you is when they ground up to, like, level 46, they didn't use their ISS Jelly. They were using their Enterprise and their Augur. Why? Because there are rep bonuses for using a faction ship to do rep grinding. The ISS Jelly just is not a valuable bird. There's no real reason to go after the ISS Jelly. Just unlock it, get the event, don't waste your uncommons on it. Don't waste your uncommons on it. And why does Copley just allow us easier access to the Jelly through one of the faction stores instead of the SLB? I mean, honestly, Brigadier, I just think that that's something they haven't updated because it's old content and they struggle to upgrade old content. Godfather asks, am I allowed to tell y'all if this is a 2-week break? I am not allowed to tell you if it's a 2-week break. Funny as that might be to hear, I'm not allowed to tell you that. But you can get the ISS Jelly through the leaderboard, through the territory store, and Armada chest. Three ways you can get ISS Jelly BPs. That doesn't count event stores where it will sometimes show up in event stores, but this time it wasn't in an event store because Scopely, but sometimes also event stores. Is there a guide to which missions do from the holodeck? Yeah, Nathan, there is. It's called, if you look at my video called Pattern Buffers, we go over what each mission kind of has. Keep in mind that that's all optional. You don't have to go and do them. It's all optional. Event schedule's up in game news. That will give you the idea how many weeks we have for the next arc. Well, that's the thing, Admiral Pegasus. That only covers like 1 week. So that's one of the reasons probably people are asking, because this stops at the 29th. This actually only covers this week. So can you push it so it becomes easier to raid bases? It still takes forever with the max amalgam. I don't know, Keld. I think raiding is pretty damn quick right now. What are you talking about? I guess that's a perspective thing. Moreau only useful with Pike? Yep, basically. Moreau and Pike are like a married couple. You use them together. It'd be cool. Scopely would add events for battleship type and interceptor, even if they made another special ship for both. Oof, man, if that was my choice, like I got another event, but it required another specialty ship to get made, I would say no, thank you. Oh, you probably aren't gonna like that answer. I don't want more specialty ships though. Like I don't want more pointless specialty ships. Like if you told me you're basically making 2 more ISS jellies, hell, I'm a collector in the game. Like I love getting new stuff, and even then I'm like, doesn't excite me. Do video saving epic and rare Armada packs till Ops 42. Do you still recommend that? Currently 38. Unless you need them. Yeah, it's... The thing is, most people don't need to turn in an epic chest anymore at 39. Like they've gotten everything they needed. So saving those so that you can try to expedite that process for your ACC. But we're also very clear. Very clear. The 4-star ships suck. Or the 4-star Armada chests suck. They're not good. But you do need them to upgrade your ACC. Just be clear, they're not good. Like, we're not saving because you get to the 40s and, oh man, these Armada chests are great. You're saving so that you can make sure that you're able to upgrade your ACC. And that's only if you don't need it right now. Like, if you still need the uncommon gas from, like, your epic chest pulls, then pull that epic chest pull. Pull that epic chest pull. You know, if you still need more rare Armada directives, keep pulling that uncommon pull. But it just depends on where you're at. And what I've found is a lot of players, if you're in a active alliance, well, you're sitting on such a ridiculous high amount of uncommon Armada directives. Not directives, uncommon Armada currency, that you can afford to keep pulling this every day and it doesn't hurt you anyway. So, how good is the Coronar versus the Pilum? The Coronar is a very good boat. I love the Coronar. I will be getting a Coronar eventually. So, is the Pilum still a better interceptor? Yes. The Pilum is better than the, like I've got a tier 5 Pilum right here, and I've got a tier 7.5-ish Defiant. Pilum's a better boat. I love both though. Like I'm not speaking negatively about either of them. I love both, but the Pilum is a much better boat, like overall. So, without putting a spoiler out there about Picard getting yelled at, do you think Scopely put out a Titan skin to represent what happened to the ship? No, I don't. At least not anytime soon. Because Scopely had no way of knowing that was going to happen. And you can't just like make ship skins. Hell, they can't even get a lot of ship skins to work right in the game. Been using Pipe Moreau and Miles O'Brien for Armadas. Is that crew decent? I would not use that Swifty. Like, I understand what you're doing with it, but I would actually just throw Cisco on there. Or, you know, any other Armada crew. I wouldn't use Pipe Moreau, but that's me. I do think his ability is fantastic. But I'm going to go ahead and recall. Let's open these chests, see if I get a Hydra blueprint. Please. Yay! Hydra blueprint and a Newton and a Kelvin. We got the trifecta of soul grinding today. Well, look at that. Well, look at that. I got the trifecta of soul grinding. Raise your cups, ladies and gentlemen. Rev's got amazing RNG today. Rev's got amazing RNG today. Raise your cups, ladies and gents. Apparently the RNG is working in our favor today. That's fantastic. Got one of each. Buy you a lottery ticket? I know, Lance. Like, this is insane. For anybody that's done the capital system grinding, this is really tough to pull off. Few of us never get there. There's been so many times I've done 50 boxes and got nothing. Nothing at all. So that's exciting to me. I guess we all need things that make them smile in game. But that's exciting to me. Let me message janitor real quick. All right, had to message a janitor. Sorry about that. I just did something was on my mind. If I don't do it now, I'll forget. RG's apparently died specifically for Rev Deuce's sins. Thank you, Barnabas. Apparently. I don't care why. I'm thankful that it happened. I'm just very thankful. I do love getting ship prints from grinding. I mean, the drawback is it's expensive, right? You know, you got to go through all the repair process and everything, and there's no guarantee, but there's also like a sense of joy of earning a free ship. And the fact that I'm, you know, almost a third of the way to a free Kelvin, even though I'm not loyal to the Federation, is exciting. It makes me want to go do more of it. It makes me want to grind more. It makes me want to grind more. I mean, even the survey, I think I got more Hydra than anything. Oh, 40 out of 150 on the Hydra. Like, just the fact that that's working makes me want to go do it more. At 39, should I max out my faction miners? Personally, up to you. Tier 8 with the warp engine is where I would typically recommend, just to save you as much uncommon as possible. You can max them out if you want to. Oh, nice living. Congrats on getting your first Katinga BP. I love my Katinga. You got a Vortivore completely for free? See, I love to hear stories like that, man. That's like, you're sticking it to the man. Love it. It's a success story right there. Thanks. I mean, I'm going to have to go back and do it again. I'm going to repair real quick. But I've also got to do solo armadas later. I don't know how many of y'all have been keeping up with your solo runs and everything, but I've got to do solo armadas in a bit. And because I'm out of rares to turn in, I need to do that. And tomorrow I've got these two. So yeah, then I've got this material claim I got to do. I got to keep up all my tokens. I keep up all my tokens. I get more of these diplomacy tokens. Because don't forget, even though the material token claim is fantastic for getting some extra uncommons, you do need to use those on a couple of researches. So you got Cornar complete for free? Damn, Maz. You ground out that many ships? That's dedication. That's dedication. Hugo, thank you for dropping the donate and merch links. By the way, if you enjoy the content here, if you're having a good time, we do ask that, hey, support the channel. You can do that various ways. You can comment, you can like, but if you don't want to help out directly, my daughter just had her birthday yesterday. My son's birthday is in less than a week. If y'all want to donate, greatly appreciate it. Everything goes to help pay the bills and make it to where we can do more content with y'all and deal with the overlords so that y'all don't have to do it directly. Because y'all would probably have mean things to say sometimes. So yeah, that's extremely awesome regarding the Cornar Moflo. Like, I admire somebody who does that level of grind. That is awesome. My opinion, Hugh versus Capital System Heavies. Hugh helps versus Capital System Heavies. Does he have is his advantage as natural? No, because of the firing pattern of heavy traders. But is it still good enough to have an impact? Yes, I do have an improved performance using Hugh below decks versus heavies. The negative to that is you have a little bit more reliance on the RNG because heavies are only firing one weapon. So Walter, the list of who doesn't work in armadas has never changed, like the ones that they've deactivated. And thank you, Abraham. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had a April baby, May baby, and a June baby. So middle of the year, expensive. But that's kids. Kids are just expensive. Like if you ever wonder what it's like to have children, expensive. That's the one word I would describe it. All I'm saying is if Rev was an officer in game, his away team trade should be the same as TNG Rikers. Thank you, Ordrin. That's very kind of you. To say extend the event store to the past, you think they might add things? No chance at all. I really don't think so. I think they just extended it so they could sell more packs. That way, if people are like, hey, I really wanted to get this, they could come in here and scroll and buy the Chateau Picards. That's what I think. That's what I think. Okay. I was confused because they're using the same graphics. And I was a little confused there. I guess I didn't pay attention to the key. I was like, are these the same packs just doubled up? All right. Anyway. Yeah. What was just the point? It's just because the graphics are the same. Why are we using the same damn graphic? Put towel somewhere. I don't know. I was confused for a second. Anyway. We got these packs are back. The Interceptor Specials. A lot of players like these. What's a good level 14 crew for mission enemy ships? Dude, Aquarius, if you're level 14, you don't really have a good crew. That doesn't really exist for you yet. Short answer would be the next generation officers, though. Just use your next generation officers. At level 14, you're not going to have unlocked a lot of things. So you will not have unlocked much. And what am I short on? Oh, man. I forgot. I blew through a ton of 4-star crystal. Ton of 4-star crystal. My 3 kids were born close to Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's Day. Damn, Omar. If you can't tell, there's a time of year where I'm making babies. So when are we getting those faction red packs? I don't know. I'll have to follow up when they'll offer them again. Oh, man. Daily event prime pack is in the pay store. Is it? Give you a thumbs up. Appreciate it, Laromi. Hope you have an amazing day. Hope you have an amazing day, Laromi. For the Newton to only drop in the other Fed system, Warp 1 for the rares. Is it Warp 130 plus or Warp 160 plus, everybody? Those in chat, help me out. Is it Warp 130 plus? I think it's Warp 130 plus. I think it's 130 plus. Let me go look. So it definitely drops here. This is Warp 160, or this is Warp 185. This is 170. I think it's like the 160 mark. I think it's here. Tony, where a rare blueprint start dropping, like Coronar, Pylum, Newton. I'm pretty sure it's 160, but it might be 135. I'm trying to remember which. It's either 135 or 160 that starts dropping. And I'm honestly, part of me wants to say 135. But I know for sure up here at 185 definitely does. I'm pretty sure it's 160 though, even though something's telling me to say 135. So I have to look at it again. What do you think about the robot towards 6-star? Do you reckon it's coming within 3 months? Do I think 6-star is coming that quickly? No. What officers Parable to Jean-Luc Picard. Pike. Tony, there's logic there, yeah. The 49s. So it would have to be 160 then, is where you're going to find the first 49s, not counting Capital Systems. Because this is 150. So I guess actually 150 maybe, because we do have Avafall. So 150 maybe is the earliest. So Capital Systems have the best rate, drop rate for G4s? No, they don't, John. In fact, Capital Systems were intentionally nerfed by Scopely when 4-star rolled out so that the Capital Systems had a lower drop rate because whales are going in and getting free ships very quickly. They purposely lowered the drop rates of Sol. I think Sol just feels easier because it's closer to home. I think the drop rates are pretty damn close now. Okay, Moflo, give me a second. Drops rarest out of 48 systems. Hostiles is kind of crap, but it works. Yeah. So, because like if I go out to Warp 185 with my Pylum and I grind out here, I'm gonna get drops there. But this takes me 14 minutes to get to. Sol does not. So 150 SG. Well, John, it's specifically we're talking about G4 rares. Because you can actually come out here and grind right there. Like I've gotten, this is that Warp 135. I've gotten tons of Kelvin prints to drop here before. For sure. Yeah. I know I've gotten Kelvins to drop here. It was going up to the rares though. You can move your base to Wolf and warp only seconds into the Sol system for ideal farming. Exactly. Like there's just an ease of use to just base right here and then warp to Sol. Like if you just want to grind heavies and regular traders. Now the drops are no different. Like there's no difference in a drop between killing a heavy and killing a regular transport. There's just a spawn rate where you're going to get more heavy spawning at all times. So that's the, thing you have to go in there. But when you've got, if you're a player in the 40s, which is who's mostly going to be trying to grind for like a Coronar or a Newton. If you are a player in the 40s, then killing the heavies should be simple for you. Like a Valdor with Pipe Moreau Talon can go just breeze through heavies like they're nothing. So once you get in the 40s, capital system grinding, if you're trying for ship VPs, is a legitimate smart tactic, and it prevents you from having to live out in deep space. But it just depends on what your goals are. You're still going to have to grind thousands of hostiles to make that happen. That dream is not going to come true by you going out and killing 2,000 traders in Sol and you got a Kelvin. The drop rate is not that friendly. But if you do that for a few weeks of just ridiculous grinding, you will get what you're looking for. So John, it goes back to that warp range / level of the hostile. So I know I've gotten like, I've gotten something here. But again, it was like Tony was saying, there's a level 49 hostile there. So that warp range / hostile is what comes into play. The 47 hostiles here aren't going to drop me anything useful. Sol is broken on 26 and Scopely ignores it. Been that way for months. So John, is nothing spawning there? Are you saying nothing is spawning? Are you saying nothing is spawning? Moflo, I really appreciate this, man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to put up on the screen. I'm going to add it to our list. Thank you as we try to get our bills paid this month. Really appreciate you. I want to make sure you get credit for it because those who support mean the world to me and my family. So where is that sheet? Because I know Hank did it earlier, and I want to make sure you get credit for it too. Thank you, Moflo. I'm putting it in now. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Sincerely. Moflo, bam, added. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You know, the only time I remember getting decent BPs was when I was grinding rep in 355 space. Thank you, Ordrin, for that very well perspective. Thank you. Only heavies? Well, John, just kill the heavies. Hell, I can kill heavies with a freaking Mortis. I realize I'm 46, but if you use my punching up crew, you can kill heavies in the 30s, no problem. So just go kill heavies. I mean, I realize it's annoying, but just go kill heavies. I mean, if you're doing Parabellum, you need to kill heavies anyway. 145 fed space drops aren't good, but it does happen. Yeah, definitely. Again, it's, I guess if you're just targeting the 49s. Link for the survey? Sure can, Jason. Bam. Bam. Still need more people to do the survey. If y'all can get y'all's alliance to chip in, be greatly appreciated. What's your punch up crew? Living Freedom. I've actually got a video called Punching Up. But short answer, Bev, Mud, Con. Bev, Mud, Con. But in the punch up video, we explain why. Damn, I actually want to go grind soul more now after that loot drop. I want to go grind soul more. Would Picard Beverly replace Khan now? No. But why would Picard Beverly replace Khan? They have nothing to do with how Khan works. I don't understand the question. Picard Beverly have nothing to do with how Khan works. 2 to 3 per hull on an Augur or Valdor versus 20 plus of the not heavy using your crew. Again, man, I can't fix hostiles, but I would just say clear the heavies. My defense, I was grinding Valdor Pylon BPs in Romulus using my Augur when I was level 39, and you put out your video and using Bev Mud. Noted. Noted. Go back out here. I just want to do it again. Yeah, Hugo. So when I'm saying Mud, I'm talking about the one that when you lose shields, he boosts up your attack power. So you are basically just going on the recycle method. Every time you lose, Beverly picks your shields back up, but at the same time, Mud is picking up your damage. Combine that with criticals with Con, you start bam, 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 bam. And I think my Bortus can kill 2. My Gladius, I think, can kill 3 or 4 heavies. Obviously, my Epics can do more than that. Why is a 9mm Defiant so much stronger against heavies as compared to a 9 million Enterprise? Well, I don't have a 9mm Defiant anymore because I've taken it up to tier 7. And tier 5 was about that. But shortest answer I can say is probably going to have been the health. Just because 4-star ships naturally have more health than 3-star ships. That's probably going to be why. And you compare it to like my Enterprise, it's only 5 million. But without knowing how your account's set up and what I'm comparing to there, it's really tough for me to answer. But what's probably going to happen is just that early G4 ship, which is what the Defiant is, has got more hull health than your Enterprise, but you know, I'd have to look at them side by side. In the survey grade on officers, are you basing it on new officers only? No, this month. Just this month's officers and how they came out with sourcing. I don't consider an event store a permanent sourcing of an officer, but Riker, Worf, and Dixon aren't in this month's event store anyway. So we're on Hugh against heavy traders. Yep. Yep. I just run full Strange New Worlds and then Hugh. I realize that Hugh doesn't have the best RNG chance versus heavies, but yeah, I run it. And we'll come in here and blow some more up and hopefully have more good RNG. Maz, I don't know why you're saying it's pointless to use Bedmov Con for ships that are this big. Unless you're talking about your ship being 8 mil power. Not better to use Bedmov Talon. You only use Talon if your Con is lower leveled. Full Stranger World over Pipe Road Talon? Yeah. Just out of a, I'm not going to go switch everything around basis. Got data through missions. What crew would you use them with? That tier 1 data, I would never use at all. Data has to be tier 4 before I even use him. So he's just to add him to your below decks, well, or your stats or your away teams. Let's see, where are we at? Find another one or need to clear more heavies? Need to clear more heavies. We'll see if we can collect another 50-ish boxes and see if we get some good RNG. Most players simply have not enough shields to, and after the shield's gone, you lose too much hull points. For what you talking about, Hugo? Bev Mud Con is good for G3s, not so good for G4s. I mean, G4s shouldn't need to use Bev Mud Con. Punching up, the whole point of the punching up crew is to punch up. If you have a Pylum or a Valdor, you're not punching up. Those are things that are comparable to what you have. You're not punching up with, a Pylum. A Pylum is a side-by-side. So, I mean, just by the nature, you're not punching up. You don't need that. You should be able to take it on with regular crews like Pipe Road Talon. And my Pylum does perfectly fine with Strange New Worlds because, as Hugo says, I'll never lose shields. That tier 5 Pylum is going to keep the shields up, and as long as the shields are up, it's a damn good crew. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate it. Camping at level 35, 50 VPs from getting the Enterprise. Nice. What are your other goals, Defiant? What are your other goals? Camping at 49, and I'm able to punch up to 60 with a good Tau crew. That's awesome, Earth. And now everybody else will be able to do it because if they pay attention these next 4 months, they're all going to get Tau. Everybody's going to get Tau. So, yay, Tau. The only people who are going to be having a reason to gripe now is going to be maybe anybody who joins the game new right now that can't access a Flash Pass. So, all right, let's see. Got to get this one. Tau work on solo armadas. In what way? Elside. Regarding the new buildings that affect stash, treasury, etc., what would you recommend leaning towards Ops 49? What do you mean, Mofla? I don't understand the question. Yeah, Hugo, that was kind of what I was curious about because Tau's an officer that's listed on the Armada cheat sheet of not working. Yeah, Golden. I am. About 500,000 ROM credits for the Pylum. The 497, I think, is like the answer. 497,000 for a Pylum. Yeah, right at 500. That also doesn't include if you can speed that process up with a way team, a currency, or even an event store. Because I know there are some people who, now that they're including the 4-star ships in the event store, people who use the event store to get an extra, 25, 35, whatever it is they were offering. I am going to get Tau, JT. I'll have Tau at the end of the week. I'm pretty excited about it. Seattle? Yeah, it's 2 p.m. here. Shout out to Seattle. Seattle does exist. I'm aware of its existence. Exactly, John. Tau will come at 10 shards and milestone 6 for each of the next 4 battle or flash passes. So this one plus 3 more. So 40 shards will be given out for free through the flash pass that everybody can take advantage of. All you got to do is just simply complete your flash pass. And if you do that, you're going up a Tau. If you don't do that, well, you won't get Tau. Thank you, Boomer. I appreciate it. If you need more people to fill out the forms, please bug your alliance. And please bug the people to finish the forms. We would need to take that to the overlords this week, at least the initial data, and then the heavy data next week. So all help is appreciated. Shout out Lucian, how you doing? When Tau was in the store, how much did it cost to unlock him? I think every rare is about $50. Like if you're talking about a singular unlock, and anybody who bought Tau, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was $50. to unlock Tau. It's okay, Lucian. You don't have to be, you know, nice. Say your truth, man. And if your truth was something sucked, well, then say it sucked. I'm okay with that. I can take it. Yeah, tier 1 was 50, tier 2 was $100. Thanks for confirming, Ulix. I thought so. I just wanted to make sure. I'm always trying to put out accurate information. You know, hopefully everybody does, but I certainly do. Aerodactyl, you're welcome. Happy to help. Even my wife's cooking has conditioned me not to say my truth. Wow. Well, you just said it here. And Origin, I'm now going to hold that ransom. I've got that screenshotted. And I'm going to tell her, unless you come hang out with me in Louisiana. Yep, that's my blackmail. You got to come hang out with me. Hope we get a chance to tier up Tal as well. It would be nice to have 10-round fights with him instead of 20 rounds. You go over here. Just can't like that you're getting something for free. You've always got to have more. You're never happy. You're never happy. We've all screenshotted, so we're all going to hang out with Origin now. Like, everybody's got him by the balls, including his wife. I guess 4 months is kind of Scopa's thing, so soon something new is going to be come out to make him obsolete. I don't see what could come out to make Tal obsolete, because Tal's not that great anyway. Tal serves one main purpose in the game as it is. There's no reason for Scopely to hardcore focus on one bump. Like, in the end of the day, Scopely won. Like, people who were going to buy Tal have now bought Tal. And then everybody else is going to free-to-play get him. And then he's going to just be another guy that's in the roster. Like, Scopely won. It's almost like this mythos has been built around Tal, where people think that he's way better than he actually is. And Tal's not a bad card. There's some fantastic uses for him, but he's super niche. There's no reason for Scopely to, like, try to, you know, nerf him or anything. He's not that game, like, altering to begin with. He just makes your acting grind freaking easy, which is awesome. Scopely won. They sold him for like 3-4 months. So what? Yeah, about 4 months they sold him. Everybody that was going to buy him bought him. So now they just hand him out. Scopely wins. No stay of the game. Look, man, I can't make them do it. So can't make them do it. Is Bev Mudcon better than the Bev Jojo Tau for traders? Yes, I would rather use Bev Mudcon. But if we're doing like going against Acti and hostile, I wouldn't use the punch-up crew versus an Acti. It depends on what I'm fighting. I'm with Bubba and that Tal limits all future hostile designs to 20 rounds. Okay. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. Oh, right there. Already got one. Again, yes. I mean, at the end of the day, content creators can't control what overlords are doing, and yeah, they don't give Eco enough help. Just don't let those guys have time to really do that. Why do all the STFC commercials only show the Federation? I mean, short, honest answer is most people prefer the Federation, which is why we have more Federation Star Trek shows than anything else. In fact, we basically only have Federation Star Trek shows. There's one Star Trek show that has come out that is not based on the Federation. One. And I'm not talking Star Trek Enterprise because that's kind of a cop-out. You've got one. And that's Prodigy. That's it. Literally everything else is based around the Federation. Only Prodigy is not. Has a starship? I mean, I guess if you want to get technical, then yeah, Prodigy is using Federation technology. I didn't want to take that away from them, but I mean, every show is based on it. You love a show based on the Klingon Academy game? I mean, I would love a Klingon-based show. You get the overlords to do it, you know? As in, you go get Scopely and Viacom and everybody who has anything to do with Star Trek on that boat. I'm with you. I want it. But are you using Cerritos? Nope. I'll use the Cerritos later when I do solo armadas. I'll use my Cerritos later for solos. Thank you, Hugo, for dropping the donut links. I appreciate it. Helps out a lot. Scoping one for sure. Bought the Mantis that I couldn't use for months. Then bought an officer that makes the Mantis obsolete. Yep. It happens to all of us, man. We all get got sometimes. And that's why, like, I don't see any type of nerfing happening to Tau. I mean, Tau just kind of is what he is. I don't see anybody nerfing him. It is Wednesday Cerrito Day. But I've already completed my regular Cerritos event. The only other one for me is the Elite. And I honestly don't care too much about it, but I'll get it when I do, because I got to spend Urbanite. I'll do it when I do my solos. I don't need a Cerritos to grind in Soul, but the Cerritos definitely makes my solo kills easier. So. Problem with that idea is that the Star Trek glorifies the height to which humanity can grow. To focus and humanize Klingons or another race would be to glorify bad traits. Ordrin, you're going to hate me, but I think the Klingons are right. But call me an anarchist. I'm not a big fan of the Federation anyway. In fact, one of the reasons I love Picard is it shows the corruption and how this beautiful ideal that the younger version of Jean-Luc tried to paint of the Federation is untrue. It's also the exact same reason that I abso-freaking-lutely love DS9. And it's why DS9 became one of the shows that I loved the most as a kid. Because it took away this stupid perfecting look, this facade that was the Federation, and made the Federation what they were. Human. I love it. Relatable. I love it. Love it. I'm tired of like, I think the idea of this perfection in the future, that humanity is going to become this like wonderful, wholesome being, is a facade. Give me gritty. Give me gritty. I'm the same way, Living Freedom. I've said for a long time, I believe the best Star Trek came after Gene Roddenberry. Most popular recently as of later along the same lines. As Scopely talked about, maybe updating territory capture. Talk? Sure. Any plans? Not that I'm aware of. Incursions is on the fixed list. Does that make you feel better? You got Klingons and Romulans better than Feds? Same. Like, I like Klingons because I can respect them. Even when they had their corruption thing going on, it was all based around the ideas of honor. And I like that. And philosophically, maybe that puts me a little bit behind the 8 ball compared to what the Federation's supposed to represent, but I definitely prefer that. The hidden messages in season 3 are on point. I agree, Lisa, but I don't want to cover any of that because you know what I mean. I don't want to do spoilers, but there are a lot of things covered. See, I also love Star Trek as a whole, though, because Star Trek, you know, brings out these type of conversations. Rev, Tau, Georgiou, and Who for acting hostiles. Literally, Strange New World, applicable officer to the ship type, Pike, 5, Beverly, several options. Main key is Georgiou and Tau on the sides. Let's add all new territories with Voyager. See, I don't think they can do that. I think they painted themselves in a lazy hole by making this the Delta Quadrant or Dominion Space. Delta or Gamma, whatever it was. I'm blanking. But anyway, like, this was your whole wormhole. This is the other quadrant. Like, this is it. I mean, kind of paint themselves in a corner to then go throw, you know, because you got the Borg in multiple random freaking spots here. And yeah. Rev's in the mood? No, he's not. What are you talking about? I'm not in the mood at all. I'm actually having a really good day. Now, joining what happened to Picard, Worf, SLB? Well, you got Hugh now, Sean. I'll be honest, that's probably better for everybody anyway. But. I mean, we weren't even ranting, Saru. Sarah, weren't even ranting. All cultures in Star Trek created is based on something human. Nothing in Star Trek is alien. It's true. John, I mean, there's Cold War themes throughout early Star Trek and all that, which is fantastic. It made some amazing stories. I mean, hell, you go watch the movie Undiscovered Country. It's literally a movie about the Cold War. And that's completely okay. But there's definitely heavy biases in Gene's work. And I'm definitely one of those who believes that there's not a singular path that's correct. How's God do a starship? You're thinking of the Final Frontier, Brett. Not Undiscovered Country. Undiscovered Country, really, really good. Final Frontier. Thank you, Yesh. I appreciate those kind words. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Reptile and aquatic Zindi. And there's stuff that lives in space. There are many things that live in space. I want to one day live in space to have my bone density go down by like 30% in a year. But yeah. Like, I love Star Trek, but there are also other sci-fi series that have done alien life better. You know, Stargate comes to mind. Even some of y'all's favorite Babylon 5, like, where they actually considered that not everybody's going to be a carbon-based life form that breathes oxygen. Like, there's some better thought out, you know, alien life ideas out there besides everybody's a, you know, bipedal, humanoid shape, earth breathing, carbon-based life form that all have the same type of vocal cords. And yeah. By the way, I've made it pretty deep into season 1 of Babylon 5. Still don't think it's a great show, but I will say there are a lot of aspects I really appreciate in that, like what I'm saying about alien life. Really like that. They didn't have much of a CGI budget, but at least they put in a budget for costumes. You'll see an official Babylon 5 game come out. Babylon 5 just never seemed to get the money behind it, but there are games I play that have Babylon 5 modifications. So. Oh man, I'm not drop as many boxes this time around. Oh, I feel like Scopely's ruined my RNG. Like entire sections of no boxes. By the way, y'all, nothing I'm saying is like meant as a negative to Star Trek or Star Trek Fleet Command or anything. I'm just realistically, like, that's why you probably don't see as many things in regards to Klingon-based shows, because it's always been based around the idea that the Federation represents the peak of what humanity can become. Real quick shout out to Miss Lisa, just updated up there. Thank you, Miss Lisa, for your donation and supporting me and my kids. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Farscape was so awesome. Disney based the Guardians of the Galaxy on them. Sure, didn't Guardians of the Galaxy existed before? What? I would have to hear the backstory of what you're saying, because up front doesn't make sense to me. You want to know the Mirror Universe art? Same. I've actually had a conversation with one of game design about a month ago, and I brought that up. I said, hey, what about a Mirror Universe set? And here's some of the old content that we never even really explored. So, how's my Titan research going? I'm not like super focused on my Titan research. It's going. I wouldn't say it's like going like expeditiously. Give us a beard frame we can use. Here, take a screenshot. Crop out my face. Here's your beard. There you go. All the beard you could ever want and need right here. That was a big up in your face beard. CGI Buzzer was awesome for the time it was created. What, Babylon 5? No, it wasn't. Babylon 5 was horrible for its time. That's actually one of my complaints about Babylon 5. It's atrocious. Like Star Trek had way better CGI. Way better. If you can get past like Babylon 5's horrible graphics, that's some really good stories so far in season 1. But their CGI is abysmal. Titan detracts from the process of leveling? How? Walter? No, Star Trek definitely had CGI Earth. Early Star Trek did not. Babylon 5 came out a season after DS9 did. They ran concurrently. Didn't Babylon 5 come out like 94? Yeah, Babylon 5 came out 1994. And 1993 was DS9. See, Volta, you think rare scale points are met now until you need them. Well, Earth, I just Googled it and it said 1994. January 94 is when Babylon 5 released. And January 3rd, 1993 is when DS9 released. DS9 ran January 3rd, 1993 to June 2nd, 1999. Babylon 5 released January 26, 1994. That's just what Google says. Obviously, I was a young man then, so I was a very young man. I started Feb 93, 1 month after DS9. All I'm telling you is what Google says. Nick says Babylon 5 came first. Nobody has said Babylon has come first until you did, man. Like when did Babylon 5 premiere? Everybody says it was January 26, 1994. IMDb says it. Comicbook.com says it. Screen Rant. I mean, everybody. It's not even just Google. Let me pull up the IMDb for individual episodes. See what it says. It is possible that everybody is just copying each other's homework to get it wrong. All right, let's see. I've got the IMDb pulled up. Let me kill this real quick. Okay, let's see. Episodes. Dang it. Stop clicking on things, Rev, you dumb. All 100 level episodes. Okay, so the pilot was February 22nd, 93. The show didn't start till 22nd of January, 94. So either way, DS9 came out first. But the pilot for Babylon 5 did come out a year earlier than the season itself launched. I'm just saying, Earth, and take it for what you will, man. Babylon 5 looks atrocious. I mean, I would never willingly watch those graphics. Even in the 90s, I would have hated it. So, V5 Pilot was feature length. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Dude, the Soul Hunter episode was really cool. Like, I like the idea of the Soul Hunter episode. That was really dope. Mind Wars, also a good episode. Yeah, I've gone through a lot of some of these early ones, and it's been good episodes, but man, the graphics are awful. But you agree there should be a rogue universe? Server can decide to vote a player on a rogue universe where they can steal from each other? No. No. The 53-year-old filmmaker has admitted the sci-fi series has helped to shape the money-spending Marvel franchise. That is really cool, Rosilion. I'd love to read that article. That's pretty cool. I would love to read that article. I love learning. B5 was created before DS9. B5 was pitched to Paramount, rejected. Then Paramount announced DS9. Paramount was accused of stealing B5's idea for DS9. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into all that, man. Like, power to B5 and everything, but DS9's iconic. Boulder, I don't think that anybody should be able to move another player off of a server. I don't believe this is not Survivor. I don't think you should be able to get mad at somebody and then vote them off the island somewhere else. I don't agree with that. 100% no. No. Just because you don't like somebody's play style doesn't mean you get to vote them off the island. Edward, there are 3 animated Star Trek shows. You got Star Trek, the original series had an animated season. You got Star Trek Lower Decks, made by the creators of Rick and Morty. And you got Star Trek Prodigy, which is an animated show focused more towards preteens, but some really good story in it. So there's already 3 animated Star Trek shows in existence. Seems like it'd be easy to give hijacked ships some value by giving 5% to give some. I mean, hijacked ships are trash. I don't know if they're ever going to do anything with those. They're pretty worthless. Incursions of the Mirror Universe. A rogue goes out the window and everyone attacks each other. I love incursions. Well, I love what incursions could be. I don't love what incursions has been. Big difference. I love what incursions could be. B5's graphics suck now, but when it came out, they were the best. I'll just have to take y'all's word for it, Nick. Really? I mean, keep in mind that when it came out, I was like 4 years old. 3 years old when the pilot came out. So I'll just have to take y'all's word for it and believe y'all. But when I see it, like, one thing that I can say about Star Trek is Star Trek ships and models have aged a hell of a lot more gracefully than Babylon 5 did. But maybe it was that great at the time. It's tough for me to imagine that, though, because I didn't experience it. That's all before my time. Who you running for Dominion solos? The same that's in my video, Jack. Haven't really changed it. We had one in your school. It was slow. Well, that's pretty cool. Like, I love learning about this stuff. I think it's really dope to see, you know, sci-fi history. And I can't wait to get more Babylon 5 story to see if, like, I really get invested in it. I'm enjoying it, but it's not Star Trek yet. It's not Star Trek level enjoyment yet. But maybe it will be. Babylon 5 jumped on CGI too early. That can make sense, Sean. And look, DS9 had some great battles, but hell, I have complaints about DS9 CGI as well. Like, DS9 found CGI, and then apparently shields no longer existed in the Star Trek universe. Except for when they were on the bridge. When they're on the bridge, the shields are down to 48%, Captain, but out in massive space battles, shields no longer matter. So, yeah, and not just like with Breen weapons, by the way. Like, literally, no matter what fight you watched, phaser beams going straight through holes in, you know, Star Trek. So, yeah, I got issues with that too. I got issues with something everywhere. Nothing's perfect, right? Shield bubble versus skin tight shield difference always bothered you? Yeah, I mean, I'm good with either option. Obviously, the shield bubble was what you mostly saw in early Trek. And then you have like this very sleek, cool idea around shields later on. But Babylon 5 was the first show to be recorded and edited all digitally. It's part of the reason they can upscale it now. So have they made like a 1080 high definition version? Because what I'm watching on my Roku channel is not a high end version. Finally got news update on the news channel, the in-game screen a couple days after Cal started. Well, they just now released it, Brigadier Jones. Babylon 5 was aired when TV picture quality sucked anyway. See, that's another thing that, like, I'm not trying to age myself, but it's hard for me to imagine that. Like, I'm only really used to, like, when I was a kid, people still had, they're not a thing anymore, but plasma TVs, LCD, like, high definition was a thing my entire life. So. I did. If y'all have ever played the game Stellaris, a company called Paradox makes it. I did download the Babylon 5 ship sets into that game. I've seen the high definition what was on Comet TV a couple years ago. Noted. Different channels / streaming services have different version cuts of the series. Oh, you gonna get there first? He got it. All right, we'll go get this one. We'll go get this one down here. They switched to Apple computers for graphics after Apple stole operating system from Amiga. See, we're getting into like hardcore nerd knowledge here, like old tech knowledge, and I don't know any of these stories. I don't know any of this. So the kid had to turn the knob on the TV to change the channel. Have never experienced that in my life. There's always been remotes. The only thing I ever had to switch as a kid was we had to go from channel 3 to channel 4 for like my PlayStation to work. Started watching Strange New Worlds this week and loving it. Strange New Worlds season 1, like you're going to hear a lot of people hyping up Star Trek Picard season 3, and deservedly so. But in my opinion, even now, like I've gone back and rewatched Picard season 3 twice, like the finale and everything. I still believe personally that if you take nostalgia out of it, Strange New Worlds season 1 is the best season of Star Trek to ever air so far. If you take nostalgia out of Picard season 3, it's still great, but it's not as good, in my opinion, as Strange New Worlds season 1. But make no mistakes, Picard season 3 has been fantastic. Or was fantastic. It's over now. But in my humble opinion, the best Star Trek show, singular season of all time, is Strange New Worlds. It was, to me, it's borderline perfect. It's not perfect because there's always gonna be little things here and there, but it's absolutely incredible. So, and I have nostalgia with the Next Generation, but I don't have as much nostalgia as other people do because I just thought that the ending for season 3 was really good. Other people thought it was absolutely fantastic and incredible. And I don't think it was incredible. I just thought it was really good. But I think nostalgia is going to play a very heavy hand there. All-time best seasons, DS9 season 6. I would rather, like, I've said it before that the best 4-season set of DS9 is 4, 5, 6, and 7. Those 4 seasons are incredibly good TV. But in terms of just one season, Strange New World season 1, my personal favorite. But yeah, season 6 is another amazing season. You watch past the credits? I did, Freedom. I did. You saw the first HD TV at the Smithsonian in 1993? Wow. Man, that really puts things in perspective because we're literally talking about when Babylon 5 and DS9 came out. Wow. Perspective. Perspective. Wow. All right. We got another 50 boxes, so I'm going to recall again. Let's see if we get anything good in this set. 1 Hydra. So not as good as last time, but still good. Not as good as last time, but still good. So we've done about 100 boxes today in Soul. Got 2 Hydra, 1 Kelvin, 1 Newton. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Micah, you did, but we'll repeat it real quick. In the free Flash Pass, so the 6th milestone on the Flash Pass, the next 4 months, this month and the next 3, you're going to have Tau at the end of it, 10 shards each. So 40 shards are being sourced over these 4 months to give every player Tau. But I am going to wrap up. If y'all do want to have more content, join us later tonight on Twitch. I will possibly doing Diablo, but definitely doing Star Trek Fleet Command. Y'all check it out there. If you want to help support the channel, if you enjoyed yourself, check out the donate link. And also, if you want to help either monthly or if you just want to check out the merch store itself, please come check out what we have on our merch store. A couple ways you can support. I know a lot of people are going to run to the exits real quick, but let me give my spiel on how you can help because it does help tremendously. So if you go to revdeuce.com, you can check out some of the merch that we have, stickers, we've got t-shirts, hoodies, etc. Or you can support monthly. I know several of y'all already do this on YouTube, which is appreciated, but if you want to come here, this gives content creators like myself more of a cut than YouTube does or Twitch does. And there are even some bonuses for some perks. Like for example, if you are a lieutenant every month, that means that you get not only a merch discount, but also we're doing movie night. Rev has never seen Fifth Element. Rev has never seen Demolition Man. Rev has never seen a lot of things. We're going to start doing monthly movie nights where I go through some of the content that y'all believe that I should see to be an appropriate nerd. For those who support the channel, whether you're a lieutenant on YouTube or lieutenant here on the merch store, that's going to be one of the things that we actually start doing together with other perks. If you want to support the channel, greatly appreciate it. Even as little as, $5 a month helps out tremendously. So I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all all amazing. Live long and prosper. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. And outro time. Appreciate y'all.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.